It's gonna be the very best day of your life. It's gonna be, yeah. Do you believe it? It's gonna be the very best day of your life.
Yeah. You was picking out your fit, plan to decorate your crib. You was about to get it lit. I know. Yeah. Oh, what? Yeah. You look at me like I'm a threat, but really I'm just a blessing. This is what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. They know I'm the truth. On some that'll change your perspective. I know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. Walk around stressed, not realizing life is a blessing. Don't know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. And we don't get no but your flexing. All of your antics and presents. We know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. I can see it in your eyes, yeah, it's codependence. When you spend your time, see you're lacking vision. Where you compromise, got no independence. You see me living life and you get offended. Yeah, you get offended. But come on to the other side. I am the light so you cannot hide. Trying to fit in, got you dead inside. Tried to kill me but I cannot die, yeah. I'm alive and you cannot take it. I'm on the rise and this crown I'm taking. On the winning side and there's no mistaking. No, you cannot fake this. You look at me like I'm a threat, but really I'm just a blessing. This is what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. They know I'm the truth. On some that'll change your perspective. I know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. Walk around stressed, not realizing life is a blessing. Don't know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. And we don't get no but your flexing. All of your antics and presents. We know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. Where your real friends at? Somebody tell me where your real friends at? Where your real friends at? I know you don't feel that. Yeah. But come on to the other side. I am the light so you cannot hide. Trying to fit in, got you dead inside. Tried to kill me but I cannot die, yeah. I'm alive and you cannot take it. I'm on the rise and this crown I'm taking. On the winning side and there's no mistaking. No, you cannot fake this. You look at me like I'm a threat, but really I'm just a blessing. This is what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. They know I'm the truth. On some that'll change your perspective. I know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. Walk around stressed, not realizing life is a blessing.
This is pain, this is youth, This is all the hush hush thoughts in your room. This is for the first time out with your crew. Getting fucked up, find joy in the bruise. Eyes with the power to seduce. Hand me the aux, we could cruise. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose.
Freedom, such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Many will cross oceans to find its shores, but its borders can be found within. Its name is heralded by all nations and tongues, though most never recognize its face in their lives. They welcome and wish to see its benefits, yet resist and refuse to walk out its precepts. Though many attempt to destroy or hide its reality in their futile effort for unwarranted control, the truth of freedom will outlast any of the dissipating lies that seek to blot out its existence. Freedom is not the erasure of all boundaries, but rather the embracing of those that are healthy and true. It is not the denial or blame of consequence, but rather the right and pathway into full responsibility of every outcome in your life. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
You give me new life. You give me new life.
It's time and I'm giving you what you're asking for. Future told no time for digging up the past, bruh. Talking about all the people that didn't last. It's scarcity, it's time for using what you have. Just be grateful, the strong is always the last. Things are quick, so settle for we could pass. People's choices are hardly the ones chosen. Not at the grave, that's your omen. Yeah, yeah, flower child, inflorescent, warrior, feel my presence, sagacity, pressure, from dead broke, woman affluent, underdog, made a past of it, on top of this shit, what's happening, born in darkness, came to life, fit in the masses, eternal life.
You give me new life. You give me new life. You give me new life. You give me new life. Oh, you give me new life. You give me new life. You give me new life.
They locked me out, outsider. Felt the pressure in the room when the boy beside him. Despite disguises, they can see the difference. Cubic don't shine the same in the diamond's presence. Them lights don't hold the same when the prophet's present. Impossible to tame when the locks are missing. The blocks are missing, the box is missing. Reach your hand to find a switch, but I'm wide different. You can think we work the same, but a profit different. You can think we preach the same, but the cloth is different. Sort of a maverick, I don't fit you boys' equations, I resist the average. Y'all playing Madden, I'm running real plays, I just make it happen. Got the doubt of saying who would've thunk of it. Life gave me the assist, made a dunk of it. I'm the one the papers chasing, so it's dumb rich. Truth's #1 supply, you can come get it.
You give me new life. 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 Oh, you give me new life.
Hey, let's run it back. I think I got one more.
You give me new life.
wasting time waiting, thinking I'ma fall behind. I'm the future, baby, I ain't even seen my prime. Culture spinning on my axis, so I'm never late. You just left to try to catch the waves that I create, but this ain't surfing, no, these waters for the boat. You never catch it from just talking about it, Lord knows. Got them nodding from the bars I wrote a decade ago. That's how you know when it's the truth, 'cause it'll never get old. And I know you getting tired of the lies when they catch you in the vulnerable times, then they robbing you blind. I know they look like sheep in the eyes, but they're wolves in the mind. Take your innocence to hang you to dry. If you question anything that they try, I speak from a confident mind and there's tears in your eyes. And it make you wanna go, and it make me wanna go on them, hang them from their feet. I just do it with my speech.
You give me new life. 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 Oh, you give me new life.
This is pain, this is youth. This is all the hush hush thoughts in your room. This is for the first time out with your crew. Getting f***ed up, find joy in the bruise. Eyes with the power to seduce. Hand me the aux, we could cruise. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose.
Freedom, such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Many will cross oceans to find its shores, but its borders can be found within. Its name is heralded by all nations and tongues, though most never recognize its face in their lives. They welcome and wish to see its benefits, yet resist and refuse to walk out its precepts. Though many attempt to destroy or hide its reality in their futile effort for unwarranted control, the truth of freedom will outlast any of the dissipating lies that seek to blot out its existence. Freedom is not the erasure of all boundaries, but rather the embracing of those that are healthy and true. It is not the denial or blame of consequence, but rather the right and pathway into full responsibility of every outcome in your life. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
Today I'm gonna live my dreams and accept how God created me. I won't let confusion, frustration, insecurity stop me. So I've made up in my mind that I'll be all that I'm meant to be, yeah. And there's nothing in this world that I'd let block me. I gotta get what's mine, yeah, yeah. No hater can stop my favor. It's not determined by you anyway. And I've been waiting for this moment in my life, so I ain't worried about what hate has to say. And please believe me, you don't have to
to bet on me, cause I'll bet on me any day. I gotta get what's mine. Yeah, yeah. I gotta get what's mine. I gotta get what's meant for me. I gotta get what's mine. Yeah, yeah. I gotta get what's mine. 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 Yeah, yeah. I gotta get what's mine. I gotta get it, go get it. I gotta get what's mine. Yeah, yeah. I gotta get what's mine. 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 I gotta get what's mine.
I'm giving it, I'm focused. I've got my mind right, the same focus. Cause I never knew what I had until you came in, you worked it out. Said I'm strong and I'm moving on. I'm thankful cause you showed me that my deepest fears got my failure, but that I'm powerful beyond measure. I thought who was I to be brilliant and change the world? I'm freeing all my enemies to change the world.
Yeah, I believe in this season that we'll rise above all our seasons, flying high for a lifetime. So y'all move over cause it's high time. Believe me, we going somewhere. The ground's fit good and we ain't staying here. We'll get reminiscing and cleaving, cause we exist for this reason, to bring back hope to our daughters, make more men of our brothers. This legacy to our fathers, that security to our mothers, to spread more light to the nations, pursue all peace with all patience, presenting God-like lifestyles. Y'all thought wrong, but it's right now. Donate millions to children, secure our future from villains. Culture shifting how you're living. Don't try to keep up, man, we different. We gon' live how we want to. Kids gon' eat like they want to. Trillion dimensions through our visions. Cooking up culture in our kitchen. Celebrating forever.
This is pain, this is youth. This is all the hush hush thoughts in your room. This is for the first time out with your crew. Getting f***ed up, find joy in the bruise. Eyes with the power to seduce. Hand me the aux, we could cruise. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose.
Freedom, such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Many will cross oceans to find its shores, but its borders can be found within. Its name is heralded by all nations and tongues, though most never recognize its face in their lives. They welcome and wish to see its benefits, yet resist and refuse to walk out its precepts. Though many attempt to destroy or hide its reality in their futile effort for unwarranted control, the truth of freedom will outlast any of the dissipating lies that seek to blot out its existence. Freedom is not the erasure of all boundaries, but rather the embracing of those that are healthy and true. It is not the denial or blame of consequence, but rather the right and pathway into full responsibility of every outcome in your life. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
They're dreaming, they're killing your dreams, they're pleading esteem. They're jealous of us, they're burying your potential's too much. If you would just lift up yourself, believe in you, there's really nothing else that they could ever do. They hiding the truth, they following you, cause you got the jewel. But that is enough, it's time to step up, I realizing you're more than they could ever handle. I pray that you're hearing me. You're perfect as you really are. The world will see just own who you are. You are, you are beautiful. Own who you are. You are powerful. Own who you are. You are special. Own who you are. You are royal.
Hourglass, all class, maybe wanna spend some time with you. Girl, you know what you mean to me. I believe you were made for me. Girl, you better use your honor. It's time to let the world know it. Cause what's a star to the world if it hides his life from the world below it? I done seen them competing with you, non-stop. You ain't wanna see them do it, steady measuring, but never measuring up to you. They could never do it. But friends soon turn to enemies. Don't let them take what's meant to be. Just make that pain your energy. Just own who you are. Just
Own who you are. You are beautiful. Own who you are. You are powerful. Own who you are. You are special. Own who you are. You are royal. Own who you are. You are beautiful. Own who you are. You are powerful. Own who you are. You are special. Own who you are. You are royal.
This is pain, this is youth. This is all the hush hush thoughts in your room. This is for the first time out with your crew. Getting fucked up, find joy in the bruise. Eyes with the power to seduce. Hand me the aux, we could cruise. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose.
such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Many will cross oceans to find its shores, but its borders can be found within. Its name is heralded by all nations and tongues, though most never recognize its face in their lives. They welcome and wish to see its benefits, yet resist and refuse to walk out its precepts. Though many attempt to destroy or hide its reality in their futile effort for unwarranted control, the truth of freedom will outlast any of the dissipating lies that seek to blot out its existence. Freedom is not the erasure of all boundaries, but rather the embracing of those that are healthy and true. It is not the denial or blame of consequence, but rather the right and pathway into full responsibility of every outcome in your life. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
Welcome to The Way, an Iexist event. I want to say on behalf of everyone here that we're honored to have you join us for today's training and session. As a coaching and counsel company, we've been serving others since 2018. And we know that your growth, success, and fulfillment is vital, not only to yourself, but to everyone around you. And it's at the core of our heart and mission here that everyone possible be pressed and empowered to lead a life that is full of fulfillment. Thank you so much for accompanying us on this experience. We're looking forward to see how this will impact the many of you. Share this with your family and friends, all those that you love, to grant them the opportunity to partner with you as you become all that you are. Enjoy.
It's always interesting, like how claps can start getting in sync no matter how many people are around. It's a cool little thing. The nature of people, right? Thank you so much for joining me today. It's the really the third episode for March, but I won't count it. Let's just say the second usual episode for the month of March. This is The Way, the spiritual edition, 2 times this month, because I wanted to do 2 spiritual on my birthday month. It's been fun thus far. This will be another really, 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 really good lesson. I enjoyed last week's. Can't even say how much, because the guys around me know, even if I try to listen to it back, I'm jumping up and down off of my own supply. And so that's always fun. But really enjoyed it. But today we have another really good episode. As always, you already know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, those type of things. Do it before you know it's going to be good if you're new here. We call all of you who are not present in this room to be in the chat. We say you're in the hall, right? Because this is always a classroom. I'm a teacher. Affectionately call myself that. It's my nature. And so in the classroom, you have those with you, but it's always loudest in the hall. That's where you're doing all the chatting and stuff like that and catching up with your friends, right? And so to all of you in the hall, thank you for joining, and I appreciate you thus far already. Comment below how you feeling right now, all right? Hope you all are having like a wonderful day, but if you're not, maybe you can tell us that too, but it's my hope that you're having the greatest of days. And if you aren't, also after this, I'm sure you'll be having an even better day. Today's topic of discussion. Can't wait. I'll actually go ahead and give you the title. Today's title and topic is focus. I've been wanting to dive into this for a while now, but this is going to be so important for you in the coming days. This is a very mature conversation, actually, and I want you to take advantage of it, particularly if you're at a particular stage in life. We all go through stages. As empathetic as I may not sound at certain junctures within certain conversations, because I can be very direct and things like that, I hope you know I'm doing this because I love you all. Maybe I should say primarily I love God, because I don't know who else could get me on this live. But how can you love him and not love his creation, right? Or those who's he's created. So by way of God, I hope you feel and know the love from which all of these conversations are flowing. I'm saying that to say that, again, this is a very mature and maturing conversation. Yet again, we all go through phases. I'll never knock you for where you've started or whatever juncture you are in life. I'm not doing this because I have some false expectation of you never making a mistake, I don't even have that false expectation of myself. I believe that the majority of us are actually doing the best with what we know and what we have. So this ain't a condemning podcast. This isn't a or anything like that. And I need to say that just in case many of you would not know that. I need the same mercy and grace that everyone else needs. You know, like when people start talking like this, it's always a confession coming after that. There's none. I'm just saying that from an empathetic state. I have lots. I would not be doing this if it wasn't for love itself, all right, that has captured me at some point in my life. And so be patient with yourselves, just as I have had to learn to be patient with myself and the stages and that we've dealt with and flowed through over the years. Okay, I need to say that up front. Again, a very maturing conversation. Focus will be. All right. Here's the catchphrase, the key phrase. Maybe it's a key phrase for this entire thing. I won't promise you, I won't give you another key phrase, but let's start with this one here. And one more time, I'm going to try to stay away from my notes so we can be as short as possible. So I won't get stirred too much. A lot of you have dedicated yourself to keeping your eye on the prize, right? There's always this idea that you just got to keep your eye on the prize and you'll make it there one day. Okay. I'm going to give you an alternate, more effective view today in terms of your focus. Because to say keep your eyes on the prize is a conversation of focus, where I am locking my attention, where I am locking not only your attention, but outflow of energy, and all these things are going to go in a direction when you say something like, keep your eye on the prize. Today, we'll learn not to keep your eye on the prize, keep your eye on the point. You're going to learn some very good lessons here today. And I wanted to do 2 spiritual editions so I could sneak some spiritual conversation in also, because there's all of these conversations about the ideas of sin and how to be in this world and not of it. And, you know, there's like big themes when it comes down to spirituality. And are you a born sinner, or were you taught that way? And the condition of the world, the theological conversations around ideas of original sin and things like that, which I don't want to go super nerdy into great detail in those sides of things. But at the end of the day, I want to teach you out of the outflow of my heart today that's going to allow you to have great understanding about some of these things and really help delete some bondage in your life and stuff like that. All right. So here we go. The idea is not that we keep our eye on the prize. We keep our eye on the point. Okay. For God so loved the world. This is going to sound real scriptural up front. That he gave us what? I'm inserting something here. God, when he gave his son, was not giving us the prize. He was giving us the point. Stay with me. God, in giving himself to humanity, was not giving us the prize. He was giving us the point. How do you know this, Bryan? Let's go to another particular passage right? Where, as always, Jesus is always being confronted, right, by the devil in some form. If not himself, then through others who are being used by him, all right? He says to an ordained group of people, in the moment you look to the scriptures, and you're looking at scriptures because you think that in them you'll find life. All right? He says, but really, all of these scriptures point to me, yet you refuse to come to me so that you could actually have life. What was Christ, Jesus, and trust me, all of you who have no clue what I'm saying from a biblical perspective or spiritual end, trust me, stay in here. This is going to go to everybody, okay? And to be honest with you, I don't view it this way, but I don't even care if you look at scripture as only, there's a lot of you that are like, oh, it's only allegory. It's only metaphor. It's only, we should just take Christ's principle and things like that. I don't look at it as only that way, but if that's what helps you stay in there for now, just to hear me or just to listen through, stay in here. Trust me, I got some practical things that'll come from this. So he says, you look to the scriptures because you think in them you'll find life, yet they all point to me. They draw you to a point, but you're refusing to come to me that you might actually have life, which is saying two things. The scriptures in and of themselves are not providing you life. I'm the one that actually provides you life. Now, I made a statement last week that I love, right? Some of us are so caught up in instruction. And by the way, we love instruction. I love the detail of what step to take at any particular moment. Okay. What should I be doing at this point? It's wisdom, it's direction, things like that, right? I love instruction. But what I said last week, what I notified you of is the fact that cold instruction does not produce change in you. Now you have to understand this, and this is why I'm saying this. I know it's going a little bit deep already, but listen very closely. It's a mature and maturing conversation. I can't change a person through cold instruction because just because you follow my instruction obediently from an outward standpoint does not mean your heart was in the right condition when you did the action. Okay, so I can tell you to stop doing anything tomorrow. You can tame yourself with your own energy, with your own will, right? Self-discipline. It does not mean that your heart is not still aligned with what you would rather do. Now, we have scriptures that say things like, man looks at the outer, but God deals with the heart, which means that spirituality is the route to true change. But how can I change if cold instruction does not change me? It only changes the outward. This is why a person, you could put on the longest of dresses, you could put on you could take off all the makeup you want to. You could do all these things. And I'm only saying this from a religious sense because I've dealt with a lot of religious people and I'm saying I was bred around. Okay, so from the time I've seen it all, trust me. You could do all of those things. And if whore was written in the heart, in the moment, it would not make you not a person that participates in whoredom or a whore. 1,000,000%. The outside distinction you're trying to make by taming yourself, maybe appearing as something different, does not indicate actual change. Because what most people do is they tame, right? And then go sneak and do what they really want to do. Okay? So now the question is, how do I get to change? Because I've heard instruction my whole life. Don't do this. Don't do that. Jesus is telling the men, now y'all can hear me principally and all those things. Okay? You're looking at the scriptures from the edge of cold instruction. Do this, do this, do this. But inwardly, many of you are still, is what he would say at the time, still crooks. You still taking advantage of weak women. This is all scriptural, by the way. You're still capturing, enslaving people. You're robbing them. You're not doing fairly to them. Why is that? You have all of the instruction you need right in front of you. Actually, you're looking to it for instruction, but somehow your heart is still finding ways to manipulate texts and things like that to get your will done. It's actually robbing you. It's not doing anything to your inward man. He says, yet you refuse to come to me, because all of these passages that you're reading up until this point, even at that point, all scripture hadn't been written or anything like that. All right. But all of these things are really pointing to me. So where do you need to go that you might actually have life? What's the phrase I used last week? Cold instruction can tame, but only encounter can change. Let me show you how clever God is and was. He knew that no matter how much law he gave to anybody, right, when he was birthing his chosen nation, which was Israel biblically, right, brought them out of Egypt, baptized them into Moses, is how the scripture says it, by way of the Red Sea, gave them laws, birthed them as a nation. He gave them things that would only tame them through Moses. The law of Moses, all these things, right? Cold instruction. Why am I calling it cold instruction? Because they had not had an encounter yet. So their covenant was of cold instruction. That's all they knew. They didn't know the one who was giving the instruction. Now we're starting to hear why there's a distinction, number one, between religion and spirituality. Because you can be operating off of cold instruction and not know the one who gave the instruction. Many of you who are walking around with this Bible in hand, with whatever scriptures you hold in your hand, don't know the one, or don't know of one who would even give it. And I ain't talking about the prophet or prophets, some of you. Where did they get it from? Okay. If you're recognizing any prophet as one who talks from God, I'm saying you don't know the God that they would even get it from. And not all prophets declared in this world are from God, by the way. That's why there's no such thing as multiple religions and all. So it's only one God. You need to find the right one. Okay. The issue, no religion can contain him, by the way. Nobody has all of the, the cards on God. It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. That's why he can be found in places that you never thought he was. God is not in a box of any form. He even chose to make his home in us rather than temples made by men's hands. Okay. Why am I getting at all of this? Because you've missed the point. The point was never code instruction. So now I need to align you in a different way. Here's what you need to know about the idea of sin. All sin is not mismanagement, by the way. From the very beginning, all sin has its foundation not in mismanagement, but in misalignment. We're very big over here on the idea, not just because I want it to be, not just because this is a good idea, my idea, on becoming. Why do we talk about becoming all that you are? Why do we talk about becoming in general? Right? You have to be something, because no amount of cold, stark instruction I could ever give you would really change your life. Listen to me. Any coach, any advisory role that's filled up in this life that does not know what I'm saying to you has no capability of bringing or bridging real change to your life. If he or she does not know that me commanding you to do something through cold instruction, it's not changing your life ultimately, they have no capability of bridging real change to your life. What cannot happen through cold instruction could only happen through encounter. Here's a very key piece. You need something to behold. You need an object of affection. The truth is, as soon as humanity's eye turned away from God, who is their real nature, and turned on themselves, they lost their edge on life. They actually lost life itself. I'm telling you the secrets. Unlocking mysteries for you. So why did God decide to give himself as son to this world? Because he knows that you've missed the point for so long. This is why the Bible says that the law was a tutor that would soon introduce you to the teacher himself. Because what could not happen through cold instruction needed to happen through encounter. So all sin has ever been is misalignment. You don't know who you are. Because out of every B flows a have. Out of every B flows actions. Who you are will manifest itself in the world. Now, here's what I'm saying. That the Jay-Z line is coming to me right now. You are who you were when you got here. You can try to change that, but that's just the top layer. So many of you that are struggling on so many sides, number one, that are coming from the false idea that you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes. Listen, these are identity issues. You don't know who you are. And therefore you go and try to change yourself. Some of you will actually try to change your sex or your gender, whatever the thing. Some of you will try to change how you relate to this world. You go on drugs, you're doing all these things. Now you got some man pointing on to the outward effect of this, right? Telling you, stop doing this, stop doing that, stop doing this, right? And you try. You stop for a little bit, you go back. Why? Because there's no change. You mutilate yourself, cut yourself down, whether mentally or even physically, some of you. Because you don't like you. You don't know who you are. And I'm not helping you for you to come to me as a coach and say, hey, well, I tell you what, you just need to stop doing this. You just need to stop. Just put your mind away from it. Just close your eyes and just try to tame yourself as much as possible. You need an encounter. For God so loved the world that he gave us the prize. No, the prize is now you're fulfilled. The prize is now you're moving into the actual health, prosperity, things like that you should have always been in, to the kingship, to the royalty. Also for you females, that you should have always moved into to. But it's not outflowing because of who you're being. Because you're misaligned. That's all sin was. Soon as humanity forgot who he was, who she was, all of the outflow of their actions started become misaligned. So this ain't a mentorship and discipleship. We use that word. This ain't a tame game. This ain't cutting grass. Because a lot of us have not found the root of the issue. Do you know that biblically, historically, the idea of a sin, again, this is an archery word. Sin literally means to miss the mark. So how do I hit the mark? First of all, I got to find my focus on the actual mark. What's the mark for the purposes of this conversation? The point. The point of your life, and this is getting good already, and we ain't even to the good part, is not money. The point of your life is not a boyfriend, girls. Men, it ain't a girlfriend, a wife. That ain't the point. It's an outflow. It's a result of focus on the point. Don't miss the point in this life, all right? Because you're missing the point and grabbing for the prize, your life has not been altered. Your dream life ain't even came into play yet. I don't want to get ahead of myself. You ain't seen the dream because you missed the point, reaching for the prize. You know how to get sin out of your life? Find the point. You need to encounter the point. Because this is why I tell people all the time, listen, Jesus Christ called himself the way, the truth, the life, right? I always focus on one of those at a time, most of the time. Let's go to the truth. One more time. I said this some episodes ago. He's the truth. It means that he's not just, God, biblically, when you're looking at Christ, you're looking at the Godhead bodily. This is somewhere in Colossians. It means that he also says, when you've looked at me, hey, Christ, we want to see the Father. When you look at me, you've already seen the Father. You're looking at complete Godhead when you're looking through the lens, through the person of Jesus, at the person of him. So he's not just the truth in some random sense. Two things he's the truth of. He's the truth about God, and he's the truth about you. If y'all can hear me, your life will change tomorrow or earlier. Christ has become the point at his conception, at his birth, in his death, and his resurrection, which gave you power to change. Christ is the point. Don't miss the point reaching for the prize. When he said to them, you're going to the scriptures that you might find life, right? Whether that's godliness, whether that's prosperity, whether that's anything, you're looking for prizes through the scripture. And it's making you miss the point. Because the point of scripture is not the prize. If it ain't leading you to the one in which all of your affection should be centered around. I called myself Christocentric not too long ago. Listen, this is going to get so good. I'm already
like on the edge of my own seat. I call myself Christocentric. It literally means just Christ-centered, okay? It's not the super fancy word. All I'm saying is, if your object of affection is not the one, and that's focus, right? When I'm saying affection, focus is not the one from which all life flows. Christocentric, Christ-centeredness, Christ-focused. If your affections are not centered, if your focus is not centered on the one from which all life flows, you can have no life. Because what I've always known for a long time is as soon as it's been a revelation to me, I wish y'all knew how old Iexist was. That's why I'm saying, you think, if you ever thought I was copying somebody, you don't know me. If you knew where I was raised, what I was exposed to, and now what I'm ending up doing, you have no clue how much this is divine. In encounter, in revelation, all these things, right? Iexist ain't young. It's just gone through its many phases to get to where it is now, because I've gone through my many phases to get to where I am now. Okay? It ain't new. We ain't even talking 10, 12 years new. You get what I'm saying? It's older than you may think, okay? The issue is this. And when it came to me, it was always becoming all that we are. I've never changed that long ago. Because Revelation would say, you need an object of affection. Number one, I've always known you gotta change. People say it all the time. Situations don't change unless you do. All of you who are resisting change in order to have more, do more, be more for other people, things like that. If you don't change, you die in whatever state you're currently in. That's how this operates. Change is discomfort. Change is pain. Change is the knocking down and the killing of pride. What you thought you knew, you don't know anymore. This is why you can't put, here's the typified metaphor, new wine in old wineskins. You got to change. I can't even put new information into your old brain. The whole thing you got to throw it out so you can get another mind. If y'all hearing me, even last week, what did we quote? Let this mind. He's saying throw the whole other one away. Any man that's in Christ, I've already said these things 100 times. I'm just giving you deeper conversation on it. Is a completely new creature. All things have passed. Behold, all things have become new. How? Object of affection, encounter is the only way to real change. I gotta change my focus. A vision that came to a friend of mine is coming back to me. So I know y'all don't know all the things that's going on in my head, and I'm like taking these pauses. I'm getting hit, smacked 20 times in a row. I'm in the future, I'm in the past. Okay, vision that came to a friend of mine came to me, and she was looking at a group of people who were mourning over their own sin. Oh my God, look at me. And they were navel gazing. They were looking at themselves. Look, I stepped in another pile of poop. I did it again. I'm so unworthy. All these phrases that you tell yourself every day. Look at me. I just can't seem to get it right. I guess I'll just never get. I guess I'll never be deserving of. Whatever the thing is, you know what you're telling yourself. Self-deprecating. They were all self-loathing. And she said, in the center of a circle of thousands of people, self-loathing, Jesus was standing in the center. There's room around him. And he's turning around and he's looking at, and I'm seeing this as vividly as if I saw it, even right now, right? And she's telling me her vision. And he's standing in the center of the circle. And he's like, stop looking at yourself, look at me. And he's bleeding. And he's got the crown of thorns. And he's freshly crucified. Why are you obsessing over your own faults? You can never change off of cold instruction. By beholding him, and when we see him, we will do what? Be as him. Change is through encounter. One more time. We love instruction. Change is through encounter. You gotta know the one who is your true identity. And that's not a man. That ain't your boss. That ain't me. The one from which you come. Okay? It's only one. Why must it be Christ? Because he's dual pictures. He's pictures of God and he's pictures of you. Or a picture of God completely, full display. You question the character of God. Would God ever do this? Is God the one behind this? You don't need to question the character of God. You got Christ to look at. By example, that's who God is. This is where all of the factions of religion, they start breaking down right here, right? Because now you're wrestling with, well, the Son of God doesn't mean God and all these things. I'm giving you I'm a spiritual man. I know him. I'm telling you. Challenge that all you want to. Try in whatever way. That ain't doctrine teaching, that's revelation. Who do you say that I am? Some say you're this. Some say you're a prophet. Some say you're this. You're the Son of the living God. Only my Father could have told you that. Peter was a spiritual man. All right. Oh, by the way, a lot of you would use that story in conjunction or in parallel to the principle that I'm giving right now. Peter, for as long as he was focused not on the prize, but on the point, could do the miraculous. The man is walking on literal water. Why? Christ-centered focus. For as long as he was looking at Christ, his nature was becoming Christ to do the exact same outcome. This is why I'm saying this. How are leaders false these days? They don't have a Christ, and I'm saying especially in the religious or spiritual community, you don't got a Christ center. Who is your object of affection? Listen, how I know, you want to talk about what sin is and all these things and why pride and arrogance are the worst. Why God hates it is because you have a self-centered righteousness. You making up your own. Now, you know you've never been Christ-centered up until this day. I'm saying you don't go to you go to the scripture for instruction, not encounter. You've never looked for Christ in the scriptures. You know what that means? You're self-righteous. That's why there's scriptures you'll never preach. because it's gonna involve going against some instruction you've already created for yourself that's made you righteous. Righteousness does not come from instruction. Hear me. It can only come from encounter, because it can only come from Christ, the real you, who you really are. So you know you've never had a Christ filter given to you. You know you've never had encounter. So what are you? Where are you getting it from? If righteousness can only come from beholding, and let me say it this way. Let me stop saying righteousness for a second. If uprightness can only come from beholding the one that's upright, how are you? And you know you've never focused on Jesus like that as your actual true identity. Where is your righteousness coming from? Where is your uprightness coming from? Your own thoughts and ideas. I'm telling you the mystery, the secret of Scripture itself. It was always for an encounter. That's why I call Scripture, the Bible, a compass. It's supposed to be leading you to the one on which you place all of your affections. And trust me, that's good enough. But what about outside of that? What about the prize? Comes from you focusing naturally. It naturally outflows from you focusing on the point. The same way sin naturally outflows from the person that's reaching for the prize and missing the point. Why in the world are you doing negative things to get money? Because you're chasing. I don't even want to say it that way. You are money focused. How are thoughts of doing anything to get money even entering to you? Because you're missing a point. The point is your becoming. If you listen, Christ is the King of Kings. It means essentially, if you deal with Christ, you become king. There's no other outcome from dealing with Jesus. No other outcome, right? So what king doesn't have wealth, doesn't have an outflow of wealth? What real king doesn't? Out of your becoming will flow, is all I'm saying, okay? I'm changing, guys. Why aren't you? Who are you beholding? It shouldn't be a man. I already said it ain't me. So how am I a man of God and only can point you to me, lead you to me? There's one object of affection that makes us all worthy of whatever, right? You having worthiness issues, it's rooted in identity. That's all I'm saying. Who are you? And why are you determining who you are? Self-loathing, all of this self-deprecating, that's pride. Why are you determining? You were created. Why are you determining what you are? How in the world could God call you more than enough, more than a conqueror, the head and not the tail, all these things, right? Above and not beneath, the lender and not the borrower, the royal priesthood. All the things that people who go to church hear all the time. Okay. Why are you again? And this feels like I'm going all the way back to moral mania. Why are you arguing with God? You're still self-loathing because Christ has not become your identity, because he's not the point to you yet. You want your own. You making up your own bag of righteousness. That's why it has to do with physical things all the time. Righteousness, uprightness has never started with anything physical. Never. Quote, quote, you can put on some modesty and not be modest. Believe me. It has nothing to do with anything. In order to change, you need an object of affection. So now we've dealt with already the sin issue. All sin is misalignment. Let me give you one more passage real quick. Look how technical this is. Listen to Paul. Now, I told you, sin is an archery term that means to miss the mark. In order to hit the mark, you need a mark. I'm revelating to you that Christ is the mark. He's the only thing that brings you into alignment, because you can't be something you don't see. You ain't going to be me around. Most of you will never be around me. If I was the most Christ-like person you ever met in your life, you're not living with me. That's why the word was given, so you can see him daily. He is the word. Living, breathing, active. You can encounter him any day you want to. You got him. All I'm telling you is it's leading to a real encounter. You should be focused on an encounter, not just on instruction. I'm not telling you that something Solomon said about this and this and this and this is not good for use in teaching and whatever the thing. You know, someone else will use the word doctrine. It just means teaching. All right. I'm not telling you any of that. Don't miss the point. There's one version of that scripture that I quoted earlier that says you're missing the forest for the trees. You're missing the point. Okay, let me give you one more. Paul says this, the Apostle Paul, this is a biblical figure, that he's stretching toward the mark. Listen to this. Oh my God. I'm stretching toward the mark for the prize. He knew that the prize is a byproduct of the mark. Misalignment in your life will make you act wrong. It's just like a chiropractor coming to finally align your back and all these things. You know, I've heard just a little bit about it. I don't have a lot of knowledge on this, but supposedly when that thing get off, you know, you're talking about your spine and stuff like that, it can throw off so many things in terms of your organs and the way your system works, because your spine is connected. It's like literally the foundation. Everything connected to this thing, right? Nerves, all this stuff, right? Very important piece of equipment in your back. All right. If it's off, it creates misalignment everywhere else. Okay. What is sin? Misalignment of the being, of the nature of who you are. It's bad identity. If I change the identity, a lot of you don't notice, and I said this before, this is the last time I'm going to say it here. Jesus, God, ain't trying to keep you. He trying to kill you. He don't want the same you. I'm going to do a conversation. I don't know where I'm going to do it at one day, and we're going to call it unrecognizable. Because you know you should be changing so much that people from where you from don't even recognize. You know, like I hate the fact that a lot of people are holding stuff over your head like, oh, you're changing and all this other stuff. I'm changing. A milli. I'm changing because that's the only way up. The whole sign, the whole point of your culture, spiritual people who are biblically based, is to die and resurrect as something completely new. You gotta die so you can become something altogether new. So you can have altogether new outcomes and all these things, all new freedom, all new prizes that come from an alignment that had to happen from an old you dying. That's transformation. If nobody's getting to that root in your life and they're only chopping grass, it'll never happen. So I hate that some of you are allowing people to say, oh, you changed. Yeah, that's the point. Don't miss the point, people. You're supposed to change. I don't know why people trigger you that much anyway. Like, why what they're saying matters to you. If you're not changing, something's wrong with you. You know, like people have been saying lately, like, in order to win in life, you got to be delusional. Like you have to have unrealistic expectations. You got to be delusional. You got to expect great things. Unlike all the other people. They're going to think you're delusional. So they're calling it delusional. And then you know what I decided? I ain't delusional. They delusional. You know what's delusional? Poverty. You know how delusional lack is in an abundant world. You know how delusional lack is as a child under God who owns everything. I ain't delusional. Lack is delusional. Poverty is delusional. Sickness, delulu. Mental health, all this stuff, disease on every end. That's misalignment, people. And I don't have time to dig into that because now we're going to get into a whole thing that, you know, this is where people want to fight you at. And it's okay. They want to fight me. But I'm just saying, I don't have time to dig into that fight today. All right. Last thing. Because this comes to mind. It's like that time, you know, I got to bring it up. Sorry. That whole Drake and Kendrick beef, right? You gotta, I was so rooting for, I was like, I really hope my brother Drake is at the crib while everybody going around the world talking about they not like, you ain't like us. I hope he's saying, thank God. I ain't like you. I'm for sure not like you. We ain't the same. And I'm okay with that. Believe me. I really hope he was saying that. I'm saying this for you. Okay? Change. That's all I'm saying. You're supposed to change. You're supposed to get bigger and better every year, every new season, all these things. When we come back, I want to talk to you a little bit. So we talked about alignment, focus. Here's the thing. Some of y'all been getting cooked by life. When we come back, number one, I'm going to tell you how to stop getting basted and seasoned and everything that's happening to you. Okay. There's one outflow of actual focus on the right things that will prevent you from getting cooked in this life. I'll give you a clue into it. The Bible calls Satan. Now, this is crazy because now you're going to have all of these questions around spirituality and God. Like, well, if God really wanted to help us and save us, why don't you just kill our enemy? Why don't you just get rid of Satan or something like that? If he was really good, wouldn't he just stop the suffering and get rid of Satan? And therefore, maybe a Epstein, whatever, who all these people, you know, who are quoted as doing demonic stuff and who are doing, whoever they are, doing demonic stuff, they just go away. We wouldn't need rescuing. We wouldn't need saving and all these things, right? Why would you leave Satan here, right? But here's the real conversation. He's quoted in the Bible as the God of this world. When we get back, I'm going to teach you how to know whether you are under the God of this world, because there's too many conversations. Now, this is an outflow of focus. I'm still on the same conversation. Okay. There's too many ideas. People are, again, determining themselves. Who is right and who's wrong? Who's of this world? Who, you know, you don't know whether you're of this world or not, but I'll teach you when we get back. Okay. Who's been ruled under the God of? That ain't the distinction that you're trying to make. It ain't, if you put on a suit, you're not under the God of this world. criminals wear suits every day. That does not mean you're not being ruled right now. Who is your God? We'll find out in a second. Thank you so much for tuning in thus far. 10 minutes, guys. Give me 10. Bathroom, popcorn, whatever the thing, okay? We'll be back. It'll be great.
Hey, if you're enjoying the masterclass thus far, I have a couple things that I'm willing to bet that you'll enjoy either just as much or even more. The first of those things is Wisdom for Days. It's my new book, and it is a compilation of 306 quotes that I've put together over years of experiences that are personal to me, that I know will help you out in your everyday life. Listen, it's just a great book. I highly recommend it to you. I want you to get it. You can get it at becomingallthatweare.com. Also, while you're there, pick up my book, A New Home. Go to the website. You can see all the details about it. It's a book that I've geared towards leaders that really will help you if you're feeling like you don't fit in life, as if you stand out in some type of way that you may not want to, but you just can't help it. This is all about how to get rid of your need to fit in and really stand out and be the person that you were created to be. The third thing that I want to tell you about is my podcast, Living the Dream. It is an Iexist podcast that I developed a few years ago that has tons and loads of great information, wisdom, insight. I gear it towards the people who need the reality of living the dream. I know that talking about the dream is one thing, but to live it is an entirely different thing. And if you want insight in what it's like to actually live a dream, that is the podcast for you. Go pick these things up. Go listen to these things. They'll continue to help you on your journey to progression, to freedom.
Freedom, such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
Welcome to an Iexist Masterclass.
Sinatra's song My Way, I Did It My Way, should be his theme song forever because he did it his way. He didn't wait for anybody to tell him how to do it. He did it his way.
Why you worry about me? Why you worry about me? Worry about me, it's whatever I should. Yeah.
You say there's really no way to win. You say the pressure's too much giving. You should just hold your breath, cause I say I'll do this my way. Can't understand why you're worried about me. Made up my mind that I would be free. So just keep that to yourself, cause I say I'll do this my way.
Hold up, they like, B, why you all in this rap-ish? I'm starting to feel like you capping. I'm starting to feel like you acting. I'm starting to feel I'm being catfished. Do touchy subjects and ad-libs. Are you a preacher, man? Or a lyricist? Cause I don't really know if this hat fits. I'm like, wow, that's how you feel. I guess I just keep it all to myself. Won't know opinions. I don't need your help. But since you asked, let me share this wealth. Pay attention. Thing is, I'm both full of wisdom, full of wealth, full of God, still a earth shell. Ain't into sorcery, but I break spells. Learn to bring heaven, cause I've been through hell. And to trust funds, but I don't trust well. I'm a businessman and I'm God's man. Got a nurse brand and I dress well. I'm a lamb dressed in wolf's clothes. I'm a lion dressed in a man's robe. Dealt a bad hand, but I don't ever fold. I'm a high priest with no church clothes. Look, no cap. So you really mad cause I don't do what you do? think I'm a fool cause I don't choose what you choose. Still living well while I break all the rules. Looks like you might have this whole thing confused. Y'all hypocrites are like 9 people, but when it come to hats, I can't wear a few. Stop playing.
You say there's really no way to win. You say the pressure's too much given. You should just hold your breath, cause I say I'll do this my way. Can't understand why you're worried about me. Made up my mind that I would be free. So just keep that to yourself, cause I say I'll do this my way.
Hey, if you're enjoying the masterclass thus far, I have a couple things that I'm willing to bet that you'll enjoy either just as much or even more. The first of those things is Wisdom for Days. It's my new book, and it is a compilation of 306 quotes that I've put together over years of experiences that are personal to me, that I know will help you out in your everyday life. Listen, it's just a great book. I highly recommend it to you. I want you to get it. You can get it at becomingallthatweare.com. Also, while you're there, pick up my book, A New Home. Go to the website. You can see all the details about it. It's a book that I've geared towards leaders that really will help you if you're feeling like you don't fit in life, as if you stand out in some type of way that you may not want to, but you just can't help it. This is all about how to get rid of your need to fit in and really stand out and be the person that you were created to be. The third thing that I want to tell you about is my podcast, Living the Dream. It is an Iexist podcast that I developed a few years ago that has tons and loads of great information, wisdom, insight. I gear it towards the people who need the reality of living the dream. I know that talking about the dream is one thing, but to live it is an entirely different thing. And if you want insight in what it's like to actually live a dream, that is the podcast for you. Go pick these things up. Go listen to these things. They'll continue to help you on your journey to progression, to freedom.
Freedom, such an elusive concept for many. Available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
Welcome to an Iexist Masterclass.
Hopping round, you was glad cause it's your birthday. Till your mom called and said your birthday was her worst day. Even with the drama, you can still make it the best day. Cause it's the best day, yeah. Baby, it's your birthday and it's the best day. It went the worst way, but let the fade away. Let the fade away, cause it's the best day. Yeah, it's your birthday.
It's gonna be the very best day of your life. It's gonna be, yeah. Do you believe it? It's gonna be the very best day of your life.
Yeah. You was picking out your fit, plan to decorate your crib. You was about to get it lit, I know, yeah. You was changing out the codes, in autumn. You was writing down your goals. I know, ayy. You plan to turn it up tonight. Well, alright. Then wake up to a better life. We still got time to make this right. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Yes, I know.
It's gonna be. Say it's gonna be. It's gonna be.
You was chatting round, you was glad cause it's your birthday. Till the pilot called and said your bag won't be at baggage claim. Even with the drama, you can still make it the best day. Cause it's the best day, yeah. Baby, it's your birthday and it's the best day. It went the worst way, but let that fade away. Let that fade away, cause it's the best day. Yeah, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy, yeah. You've been dreaming about the day when you was 26 years old. You was bold, hard to go, you was always touching road. Always paying for the folks, never broke. Day before, heart was so fly, 25 still working at the store. Get it to me, girl, 'cause you was born with it.
Thank y'all. Welcome back to this wonderful episode. I think it's the last one for the month. Hope you enjoy so far. Actually, I hope you enjoyed last week's too. Actually, let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it, what you got from it. We can talk about the old in the new. Okay. I'll go back and look. Or if you feel it's more appropriate, you can go back to the other one and leave it in the comment section there, and I'll look at it. Yeah, let's jump straight into this. Thank you again. And got something else to give you before we get out of here. So we talked about the outflow of focus, right? And how when you align yourself, okay, which you aren't self-aligning, right? One more time, the reason why you can't get out of you haven't accepted your actual identity is the problem. You know, at a particular point, I just stopped arguing. Because you can't have the outcomes of something you are not. And I'm saying, and then hold them for long periods of time. I've said this multiple times. If you try to gain a lot of money and you aren't rich, that's not your identity, then you're going to lose it. A lot of us have what people are calling appropriately ceilings. Ceilings for health, ceilings for wealth. It's almost like you can't accomplish it because of what your current money, your current health ceiling is. Now, a ceiling is an identity. You don't see yourself as being worth more than a particular thing. And this is what someone who would use this language would tell you. You'll always fall back down to whatever your ceiling is. So if you are a broke, poor person in your identity and came across a lot of money, you're going to be a broke, poor person with a lot of money. Do you know what abundant people give? And this has to come out to you. You know what abundant people do? They give. You know, if you poor, even with a lot of money, you're going to be stingy with a lot of money. To the person that has, even more will be given to them. To the person that doesn't have, even what they have will be taken from them. That's scripture, right? But to the person that's generous, your world will get even larger and larger. The person that's stingy, your world will get smaller and smaller. Okay, there's another one. I could do this all day. There's another that's coming to me. But I mean, it's better for you to splurge than to waste. Because an open hand is an open hand. So you know what the generous are? Abundant in mindset. There's no end to what can come from them because they're abundant in mindset. So once I'm abundant in mindset, I stop holding on to. An open hand is an open hand, right? To give and to receive, it's one action. Lack comes from a closed hand, all right? That's not today's lesson, so I'm not going to make it of super importance. The point you should be taking from that is identity. Your behaviors, everything is the outflow of who you believe you are right now. If you want to change, you have to change from the root up. Okay. Some of you just need to replace. Now, let me give place right now for instruction. The issue is, see, the problem is you can't have code instruction at the base. Remember, I said not too long ago, I'm not talking against instruction, but instruction doesn't make sense where there hasn't been change. Because you can't do actions fully aligned if you aren't changed first. So the code instruction may be do this, do that. But if you're doing it with a wayward heart, it doesn't count. So a lot of your lives are out of order. And what I'm trying to tell you is if you don't change the identity, it don't matter how much you try to prove to yourself that, there's two types of people. Let me give it to you this way. All right. There's faith expertise being spoken a lot that says, hey, listen, if you want a particular outcome in your life, go see it, visualize it, go feel it, go touch it. OK, go get in the car of your dreams. Go get in the go take a tour in the house of your dreams. Go to the neighborhood, drive around, go see how you're going to be living. The problem is, and I'm giving you the example of change versus instruction. That instruction is good. Follow the instruction. If your heart isn't changed, if you think you're a low down dirty shame riding around in a nice neighborhood, you'll never get there. You have to change. And even if you got there, you would ruin it once you got there because of who you believe you are. I am the head and not the tail. Okay. So out of your focus, right? Your focus is on the point, who you are. Christ's identity is the point. I didn't need instruction first. I needed encounter. After I've received encounter and I lost my opinions of myself and what righteousness is and whatever else is, and I took on someone else's, they define, God defines what these things are, not you. Once I take that on, now give me all the code instruction I need. Okay? Order. So people who are not experts in change are only giving you code instruction. You needed change first. You needed an encounter first. By the way, remember I was saying also, the object of your affection, the point ain't your boss. It ain't me. But you know that I also admire people in this world. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm inspired by people all the time. So don't hear me as talking against it. I'm saying first, get into your God essence. You build on top of that. I'm just covering foundational things because a lot of you skip over the foundation and then figure out why your life keeps wrecking and crashing. You're skipping over the root. You're cutting the grass, but you haven't gotten below the surface. In order to get below the surface, we got to change your identity, which will change your ideals, which will change your expectations. It'll change your perspectives. Then you won't do the same things anymore. You know, I've never looked back on a blatant sin in my own life and said, that was really smart. You know, once you change your identity, all things that are sin, and let's just say it from an action standpoint, all things that ultimately hurt yourself or others, let's keep it there. will be pros. I'll make you pros at this. All things that ultimately doomsday either yourself or others. Let's call it sin. That is sin, by the way. Never have I looked back at a blatant sin or even a mistaked, unconscious or anything like that, right? Action, sin, and said that was smart. Once your identity changes, all of it becomes stupid. You know what? That's just stupid. That was stupid. Your identity has to change for you to see it that way. Then your perspective changes and everything. Some stuff you'll just be like, it doesn't even make sense for a king to do that. And if I'm a royal priesthood, if I'm of royal blood, if I'm born of Jesus, Christ himself, born of God himself, some stuff is not becoming of a king. Some stuff isn't becoming of royalty. Some of this bowing and begging and all these things that you do. We talked about people pleasing last week and stuff like that. You don't know who you are. You don't gotta beg and bow as a king. How do you outflow king? You focus on the king. Then you become, as a outflow of your focus, the king. And then guess what comes as a byproduct, a consequence? Kingly prizes. So very practical real quick. You don't the prize is a consequence of the identity, okay, of the focus. I become the husband. The prize is the wife. You become the wife. The prize is the husband. Okay? Your identity. You will self-sabotage everything that comes into your life that you are not inwardly. You will self-sabotage money. You will self-sabotage an audience. God will actually send you people to prove to you that you ain't where you're supposed to be. Because he'll send an answer. See, this will be a physical display that you aren't ready for a particular thing, right? He'll send an answer, maybe something you pray for, something like that. You ruin it. How many people do this all the time? You got so much trauma happening in your life that even if God wanted to send an answer, you can't see it through the lens of what it actually is as an answer, or excuse me, you can't see it as what it actually is. You're seeing it through the lens of whatever you went through last season, past season, whatever the thing, and you self-sabotage because you're identifying with something old. You need an object of affection. First object of affection is Christ himself, Jesus himself, okay? Now, code instruction, all that stuff. You can be instructed all you need to be. Change first. Okay. Now we're going to talk secondly about a different outflow of focus. Remember, don't keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the point. The prize is a byproduct. Okay. Now, some of you have been getting cooked. 1 milli. Satan been cooking you like nobody's business. And we've all learned it's like taking L's, right? We've all been cooked in some type of way. Trust me, I know. I don't, the interesting thing is I don't talk above ground when I'm talking. My feet are firmly, wisdom, experience, and knowledge of who you are in this world will teach you not to talk. I'm talking from the ground, people, not above you. Everything that outflows is to me also, okay? You just need to know that. I'm not above, not better than you, okay? I'm talking from real experience and expertise by experience half the time. Trust me. So, and half the time isn't a real measurement. Okay, that was just habitual saying. So I'll tell you why you've been cooked. You've been being cooked. I'll tell you this story. I was on the phone sometime recently, quite recently, maybe within the last 3-4 months. And I was talking about how this is going to be good. That idea, again, Satan has been quoted biblically as the god of this world. If you look at, for instance, Jesus scripturally, I'm sorry if you don't read the Bible or something like that, and if you're coming in from some other background, this is going to help you. Just stay in there. He's being tempted, right, in the wilderness by Satan. One of the things he says, listen, if you bow to me, I'll give you all of these things. I'll give you these prizes. There's nothing wrong with the prize when it's the outflow of your focus on the point. But the reason why so many of you are getting cooked by the god of this world is because your focus is on the prize. Remember, you become what you behold. That's in this book, by the way. Hear me strong. You become what you behold. One more time. Hear me. Listen. You become what you behold. So when your focus is not the point, and your focus becomes the prize, you alter your life and your identity to the prize. I talked last week about how, listen, a lot of you, I don't think it was last week. This was in Rich, actually, some episodes ago. I was saying that some of you actually think you're nobody unless you have money. Do you know what that means? That the object of your affection is money. So now every good feeling of yourself is attached to money. The problem with this whole thing, I'm getting to my point, is that Satan has been declared the god of this world. Let's call him, for the sake of this conversation, the god of prizes. You become what you behold. If you become the prize and not the point, you have a different God. Automatically. Are y'all hearing me? Satan, your deceiver, your the one who wants you out here, dead, cold, not fulfilling destiny, not becoming everything you're supposed to be, your main opponent was declared the god of this world. For the sake of this conversation and for the sake of understanding, the god of prizes. You become what you behold. So if your focus is not the point, which is your becoming, your focus should be on Christ himself. Because that's what you're becoming. Lord of all. If you remove your focus from the point and put it on the prize, you become the prize. But guess who's the God of the prize? So how have you been being cooked? You've been run by the God of this world. I don't have time really to teach this the way I want to, but I hope you heard me thus far. You're getting cooked because you're not under God. You're under the God of this world. Because money is making you somebody. You weren't somebody before you had money. See, the way that this is supposed to go is that, listen, the outflow of my being attracts prizes because I'm dominant in the sense as I have dominion over this world. It means I'm in this world, but not of it. I don't think I'm anything I'm looking at. I told you who my nature is. I told you who I am, what I am. Prince of Heaven. I don't belong here, so I can have dominion over whatever is here. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think a lot of you really think you know why Satan's cooked? He followed the exact same path. He started thinking he was things. So you're cooked because you're tied to this world. You think the things of this world is what's making you. Where have you ever seen God be intimidated by Satan? Even biblically or anything like that. What record, whatever record you find that in, I'm saying whether outside the Bible, whatever the thing, specifically I'm saying that is false anyway. Okay. People are like, why doesn't he kill Satan? Satan not a threat to God? If anything, I don't even know if, I hate to say this, I don't even know if he hates Satan as much as he hate I don't even think he hates Satan. I think he hate the idea that he cooking y'all. That's what I think. I can't look at Job and say, oh, this guy is just so flabbergasted at, and extremely hateful he can be of a being that he created. I'm looking at, he hate the fact that y'all getting cooked. He hate the fact that he lost his identity and thought he was things. Thought things are what made him or are what make him. Now he's on a bitter rampage to pull you down into the same cycle. So God looking at you like, what type of disappointment would it be if there would be disappointment? That you think you're the dust you come from and not your identity, your focus. You're raptured in your mind through your focus on this world. When I say that, I'm saying like you're just taken into highs of delusion, by the way, of being focused on the things of this world. Y'all gotta know all this stuff is fleeting. You're not of it. So I can have dominion over what I'm not of. If you're not above it, you can't rule it. I'm hearing the whole God of this world completely different. Because he's lost a place, you're now he's God of the world, as in being in the world and of it. You're meant to be, yes, in this world, but dominant over it because you're not of it. You cannot rule what you're not above. Okay. This is a little bit of rehearsing from one of the other episodes. I think it's above it all. Okay. But here's the same principle and idea and a little bit of an expansion of it. But why are you being Dominated. You can only be dominated by focusing on the prize, by becoming the prize. You have to understand everything on this world. I'm saying the dust, the grass, the animals, all these things, whatever, the forests, whatever you can think, the waters, they were supposed to be dominated. You're only being dominated in this life because you think you're of this world and not above it. Guess what? Therefore, Satan, the God of this world, can cook you. Some of y'all getting cooked every day. Because you know who ruling you? The God of this world. Let me give you some practical instances of this, right? I talked about freedom so much. I said I was free before you met me. I keep saying I will give away I can give you all the secrets, again, whether through a paid subscription or I can come on here and give you all the spiritual. I will always give what's spiritual because that's free. Okay. But what I'm saying is, you want a bit more, just notice how blessed I am and graced in the mind and all this other stuff. And it'll let you know that I'm also graced on the practical, that you'll get a whole lot of by joining the nation and getting practical application coaching. Okay. That's meant to change your life, by the way. But I talked about being free. You know how my design is free now? I'm saying the design of my being is free. No longer on this planet. It doesn't even, listen, the world is fleeting, people. Why would you attach, that's the word, yourself to what's dying? Y'all are getting cooked because you've attached yourself to what's fleeting, to what's dying, the world in and of itself. You ain't here for a long time, people. Why are you so attached? I'm giving you the key and the secret right now, actually, because I'm on my upward bound exit right now out of this particular podcast episode. You too attached. Did you know, again, that a wife, guys, ain't the point? It's a prize, for sure. It ain't the point. Some of these conversations, I think I saw this one time somewhere or something like that. Like there's people arguing over who's the prize or something like that. The world is made of prizes. Okay. That's what all of this is. A prize. That's why it's beautiful. You get to enjoy it. You get to go on sunny walks and all this other stuff. These are prizes, people, but it's not the point. And your life won't come together until you acknowledge, till you understand, till you focus on the point. Because prizes don't have your place or their place until you're focused on the point. Becoming all that you are, you can't even enjoy the prize because you think you the prize and you think the prize is what makes you. So now the marriage is what makes you, and it's completely ruining your life because it's running you off course of the actual point. I told you, y'all getting cooked. I'm giving you practical insight. Because this is why a lot of you don't think you're getting cooked by Satan. You don't think you're under the God of this world, but I'm going to teach you how you are, because you getting cooked in these ways. Money has ruined your life because you do everything for it. Again, even compromising your character and all these things because you think that you're the prize. In this way, in this way, you think you're money. I'm saying you don't think you're anything unless you have it. But I'll let go of the prize if it means compromising who I really am, the point. What's wrapped into the point too is also your purpose. What's wrapped into the point is also your direction as an individual. Misdirection is misalignment. Misalignment is the idea that you're not focused on the point. You know why you don't have any direction? I don't know. I don't hear God. I don't have any direction. You're not focused on the point. Again, money is an outflow. You don't chase the bag. This is why it's always, or it's said plenty of times, chase purpose, chase becoming your new identity, which is in Christ. Okay. And again, I don't have time to fully dive into all of this. That's why we have coaching on the back end of this. This is why we have subscription, so I can talk to you bare minimum, very spiritual without the spiritual language, okay? Because you need to be spiritual in this life. All right? But what am I saying to you? You're getting cooked. So therefore, because your wife, what I'm saying is, there's so many of you men, there's so many of you women who are being derailed from destiny because you're too attached to prizes. I'm a prize, but I'm not the point. I would never let a wife, friend, associate, companion in any type of way, right? And I'm saying on maybe a business endeavor or something like that, think I'm the point. As my audience, I'm grateful for the prize that you are. I will never mistake you for the point. Because as soon as I do that, I'm controlled by the God of this world, and you getting cooked. The reason why so many of you are people pleasers, the reason why so many of you are trapped, enslaved, you can only get dominated one more time, which is enslaved, because you think you're of this world. You've been focused on the prize so much, you've become a piece of machinery. You've become a tool in the use of somebody's hand who's paying you. So you're doing everything for destiny. You're doing everything for a prize, right? Which could be money, which could be your wife, which could be your husband. And that person will literally derail you from destiny because you've taken them out of the category of being a prize and you've made them the point. And because you are too attached to prizes, you can't even, this is why I keep saying, you focus on alignment. On the point is how you really get free. It's really how you live out destiny. Please hear me. That's why a lot of you swear you're obedient. I'm doing everything I know to do and all these things. I'm a really goody two shoes, and I promise you ain't doing nothing God told you to do. I promise you ain't being anything he's called you. The reason why is because you're not being run by the point. You're being run by the God of this world. So long as you got a little money, long as the wife happy with you, long as there's no friction in your life. I thought about this. I told y'all about a prophet in the Bible that was asked to preach, not spiritually, not in a way of allegory, not metaphorically, literally naked, buck naked, for 3 years in a row. Now you imagine the type of obedience. Number one, what type of character, what I'm saying is, what type of confidence do you have to have? You get what I'm saying? Like you had to be focused on the point because ain't no insecurity stopping you. Think about this. Now, how many people, political people, church folks, whatever, how many people you think would advise against that based upon what you know of your own life and people you know? Everybody. How many of y'all's wives would have said, I stand behind you 10 grand on this. Now I want you to really think, how many things that are your real dream that you know you're supposed to be doing in this life have you given up for the opinions, for money? I needed to make money, so I couldn't start the business that I know I'm supposed to start. I couldn't help people the way I wanted to help because my wife told me I got to tend to the kids with her and I better not leave her alone and you're working too much and all these things. But I know I'm meant to build and design this business that's meant to help people in these type of ways. I know it's my calling. It's confirmed. I know it within. I done had 17 dreams, whatever the thing. I don't know. Okay. You know, not what you're questioning. You know. I've always you know how many people, I'm a coach, people. You know how many people I hear that say they gave up this or I wanted to do this. I always wanted to do this. Who cooked you? The God of this world. But this. So these are type of excuses are not like just being lazy, right? Because that's that side, right? That's very practical. You're just being lazy and all these things, but some of you are too attached to this world is all I'm saying. Your dominant thought every day is survival. Because you're attached to this world. Let me teach you very quickly how to get off of it. And we'll get out of here. Because again, I just don't have the time. Please, coaching subscriptions, things like that. Detach. How I can get on here and say what I want to say, be free. You know, like, I'm going to tell you again, let's give you one more example of being cooked. You know how many people would not be themselves online and all this other stuff because some boss. So, you know, we can fire you based upon if we don't like your social media. Are you crazy? Are you dumb? You know how many of y'all are not yourself because somebody that's in your life 2%. You see this man, not even 40 hours a week. You see this woman, not even 14 hours a week. Again, let's go back. Religious, political, white collar, blue collar. I don't care. The preacher, the whoever. I'm telling you, I'm mentioning them right now. You know how many dummies are not going to fulfill destiny because of what somebody think that's at a distance from them, who ain't paying all your bills and all this other stuff. And you are derailed from destiny. And by the way, I'm talking to you people who are in politics and preaching and all this other stuff too. Y'all being derailed. Even sometimes by the opinion of the people. You're cooked. You think you're under God. One nation. You're being run by the God of this world. You're too attached. Detach yourself. Nobody should ruin your destiny. Nobody should come between you and God, which is authenticity is a part of that because you got to go to him as you are. You're getting cooked. Because you need the thing so bad. I don't need a job that bad. I'm telling you. Listen, I'll do it within the nation. Again, y'all subscribe. I wish I could tell you. I'll say this much. I'm not even trying to be anything. You know what's really talking? Experience. I know who holds my hand because I have an object of affection. Listen to me. Boldness true boldness is not from nowhere. I have an object of affection. So many times, it's nobody that could come into my life today to derail me. You know why? You know how many times I've sat down? All the things I'm talking about, I'm saying this is real life. I done sat in a stupid meeting. Social media, let's watch it. Because I'm talking like this. And somebody want to control it. Because, I don't know, maybe their toe felt stepped on or something like that. Why people think I have time to actually sit around and make up a whole conversation about just them is crazy anyway to me. I'm bigger than that. Don't know one person run my thoughts to the, like, that's crazy for me. Maybe not for some of you. I ain't sitting right here we talking principles for life and godliness. This ain't even personal. So, but you know how many times, listen, you know what I've walked away from. I know you don't know. Anybody in this room with me now, by the motion of just stating the word I, let these people know. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm this way. I've been this way for the longest time. Number one, I ain't changed. And I ain't talking about becoming. I'm talking about in the sense of authenticity, in the sense of my willingness, desire to chase the dream and all these things. I've actually only become stronger. That's how I've changed. I'm becoming a whole new man, but I'm getting better. I'm getting more forward than I've ever been, but I've still always been, you get what I'm saying? Like I'm detached. Okay. That's one thing. Here's the say I, if this is the truth. When has my life ever gone down from trying to be held up? Anybody ever witnessed in this room? And I'm saying this for your sake. This ain't a brag. I'm telling you, I know who holds my hand. Anybody seen my life go down after having to take a vivid stand because of all of this manipulation, all this control? And maybe they just didn't understand where I was at the time. Maybe it's one of them things that happens. Okay, dang, we fired them 10 years ago, but we understand them now. I don't know what the thing is. I've walked away plenty of times. Who's seen my life go down is what I'm saying. Making sure there's no eyes. That ain't a brag. I'm telling you, you need an object of, I'm saying it for your sake. Because you're getting cooked. You can't say what you want to. I'm saying you couldn't even defend anybody on behalf of God. And this is the crazy thing. People be saying stuff like, people will say things like, I just don't know. I would really love to be used by God. You can't be used attached. I'm telling you right now, if your boss can tell you, hey, man, if you post one more thing about God, if you say one more thing about, if you try to mention God and in this Hollywood thing or whatever the thing, we're going to get rid of you. You can't tell the truth, especially if it steps on my toes. You're cooked. How are you going to be used? That's my whole point. How are you going to do anything for God? And you can't, like, you're not even an option. Because you have the wrong focus. Your focus is the prize. You do everything for the paycheck. You do everything for the opinion. You do everything for the award. Because you think you're of this world. And by the way, enjoy the awards, rewards, the prizes. I'm a prize, but I ain't the point. As soon as you make the prize the point, you're cooked. You're being ruled. You actually don't work for the actual God. You work for the God of this world. If money means so much to you that it will derail your destiny, if husband, wife, friend, whoever, you're getting cooked. I can walk away from any situation because I'm a choice. I please choose. I am a real choice. If I'm the option to you, get rid of me. And I'm saying that on what, see, y'all think I'm just talking about like, I'm saying clients. I'm not run by any of you. I told you I work for one. If that's a problem and I'm such an option, do your best. I'm a choice. I'm nobody's option. But you know why? I work for one. That has nothing to do with not doing the best in every endeavor. Y'all can't separate this from the ideas, or don't start thinking I'm saying go disrespect your boss or anything. I'm saying when it comes down to taking actual stands, for your destiny, for real dreams, who can come in between that? If anything can come in between it that's of this world, you're not godly like you thought. Trust me, you're being derailed because you're being run by a different God. That's all I really wanted to tell you, okay? And I was only an example in saying this. Again, it's zero. There should be zero feminine energy for you guys. Zero male energy. For me, that's very true. Do you not realize how willing God was? As soon as the focus was wrong, last thing, y'all don't understand how important this is. Detachment allows you actually to enjoy this world as an experience. I understand that all of you are experiences. This world, this life is an experience. But as soon as it becomes more than that and you're attached to it, look at Lot in the Bible. Please just look this up. Even if you don't read the Bible, look at the story of Lot and his wife. You have this, maybe you heard of the wife turning into a pillar of salt. You know what her issue was? She was attached. You know what Job's wife's issue was? Don't tell me he won't get rid of your wife. Let no man She the prize, not the point though. Soon as things start clearing out of the things start getting excavated, start getting taken from Job by God's permission to the devil, she was so attached, she asked the man to curse God and die. Next thing you know, she dying. When you derail destiny, or when you are derailed from destiny because of whoever, ain't no woman in this world. I already told y'all this, but I'm saying it again. For me, ain't no friend. And that's for the ultimate relationship. Ain't no friend, ain't no nothing, employee, ain't no client, ain't no person I'm doing business with. At any particular point, it's just how it is. I've always been this way because for a long time I've had an object of affection. Has nothing to do with disrespecting people. Has nothing to do with not enjoying. Again, the outflow of enjoyment, if we want to talk about outflows, literally comes when you start to realize everything's placed. These are just experiences. I get to experience you as teacher, as mentor, as award giver, ceremony host. I get to experience you as money. I get to, you know why some of you need to experience being rich? Because you've been experiencing lack for too long. You've been experiencing broke for too long. Please go experience life. It's supposed to be an experience. I actually have more gratitude for everything, for everybody that gives me an opportunity, for everybody that shows me love, for every one of you that shares and all this other stuff, because I'm taking it in as an experience. But you are not the point of my life. I got a point. And it's beyond this world. And it helps me to become everything I can be, even for you in this world. But you ain't the point. Even everything that you're supposed to be for your wives, husbands, everything you're supposed to be for your husband's wives, you can't even accomplish it because you don't know who you are. So you're stepping lower than what you're supposed to. Imagine having an addicted wife, having a wife that's like out of alignment with who she really is. How can you be for your husband who you're supposed to be if you're not aligned? How can you be for your wife what you're supposed to be if you're not aligned? That's why focus on the point is primary. Purpose comes along with that. Direction comes along with that. Destiny comes along with that. When you're focused on the point, all of that is tied into it. The outflow is the right prize, is all the prosperity, all these other things. I hope you've heard me. Okay. You know, it's my desire. So don't let anybody come in between it. In between that, actually, if you make me the point of your life, you're abusing me. Nobody's ever told you that before, right? Don't make me the point. I'm the prize. I'm for sure. I told you I'm a choice, and and I make people choose. Choose ye this day. Cause you're gonna try to box again. We already had all the dogs. You see what I am. I've literally told people to fire me before. Well, we don't want that. We want something like this. Sound like you need to fire me. And then the person, never mind. So, never gone down. Here's all I'm saying to you, because I'm the prize. And I'm the choicest of things. But I can only be that when I'm focused on the point. You will only be that when you're focused on the point. As you all know, it is my desire. Please subscribe to the podcast, to the YouTube page. Go follow and like our pages. I never say that, but Iexist on Facebook, Instagram, things like that. As you know, it's our desire that you would prosper. We're pushing you to lead a life that is full of fulfillment. It's only going to happen when you detach from this world. Enjoy everything as prizes. They're not the point, okay? Amen. Until next time.
We hope you enjoyed our experience. If you would like to gain access to more in-depth teachings such as this one, a host of other products and services, or the opportunity to partner with others who are becoming all that they are, join our exclusive membership community. Join the nation, the Iexist Nation. All the info you need can be found in the description of this video. Until next time.
Life just keeps getting better and better. You just wait and see. You don't have to see it now in order to believe. Life just keeps getting better and better. You just wait and see. You don't have to see it now in order to believe. Better, 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 better. Ooh, better, 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 better. Life just keeps getting better and better. You just wait and see. You don't have to see it now in order to believe. Life just keeps getting better and better. You just wait and see. You don't have to see it now in order to believe. Better, 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 see. You don't have to see it now in order to believe. Better, 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 better. Oh, better, 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 oh yeah, better, ooh, better, better, yes it is, better, so better, oh better, take us up from better, believe it, better, already, better, better, already, better, better, oh,
Switch. One time, cause I got better on my mind. One time, cause I got better on my mind. One time, cause I got better on my mind. I got better on my mind. I got better
oh
on
yeah,
my
oh
mind.
yeah.
One time, cause I got better on my mind. One time, cause I got better on my mind. One time, cause I got better on my mind. I got better on my mind. I got better on my mind. One time, cause I got better on my mind. One time, cause I got better on my mind. One time, cause I got better on my mind. I got better on my mind. I got better on my mind. One time, cause I got better on my mind. One time, cause I got better on my mind. One time, cause I got better on my mind. I got better on my mind. I got better on my mind.